everyone, this is the news from Western Armenia, especially for you.
Balat Orphanage stories. Iran strikes US bases. Hrachia Acharian, language guardian. Artsakh, Azerbaijan and the army chief. Arara and the Kessab volunteers. The Hartford Circus fire of 1944. Mkrtich, Yotneghbayrian of Urfa. Topuz, Sarkis of Zeitun. The archives of Armenian Orphanage of Balat provide valuable information about Armenian orphans who survived the First World War. The records contain many personal stories of children who were rescued, cared for, and educated. One example is Nazanik, an 8-year-old girl from Erzurum who was brought to the orphanage in 1919. The archives also include information about many other orphans transferred to Istanbul from different regions. The orphanage offered more than shelter, providing education and vocational training. Adoption and family placement programs were also organized. These documents remain an important source of studying the lives of genocide against Armenians survivors. Iran's Khatam al-Anbiya military command announced that Iranian forces attacked several US bases and 21 sites linked to American interest in the region. The operation was described as a response to recent US strikes. According to Press TV, the attacks targeting selected locations connected to American activities. Iranian officials warned that any further aggression would trigger stronger and larger-scale responses. The statement emphasized Iran's readiness to retaliate against future attacks. The announcement reflects growing tensions in the region. Iran stated that additional actions remain possible if hostiles continue. The year 2026 marks the 150th anniversary of the birth of renowned Armenian linguist Hrachia Acharian. Born in Constantinople in 1876, he studied linguistics and Armenian studies in Europe. He became one of the most influential figures in Armenian scholarship. His major works include the Armenian Ethnological Dictionary, the Dictionary of Armenian Personal Names, and Armenian Dialogy. After the Armenian genocide, he settled in Armenia and taught at Yerevan State University. Acharian viewed language as the foundation of national identity and culture. His legacy continues to inspire efforts to preserve and strengthen the Armenian language. MP Tigran Abrahamian reacted to the chief of the General Staff statement that he became emotional during the May 28 military parade. Abrahamian questioned whether the military leadership showed similar emotions during events related to Artsakh. He referred to the outcomes of 44-day war and the September 2023 developments. The MP also criticized government statements regarding the military and fellow soldiers. He questions whether military leaders react to what he described as attack on national values and public dignity. Abrahamian raised concern about the political leadership policies toward Artsakh. He concluded that the answers to these questions are predictable. A Battle of Arara in 1980 was an important Allied victory during the final stage of the First World War. A key role was played by the Armenian Legion, which included many volunteers from Kessab. After training in Cyprus and Egypt, they joined the Palestine Front. During General Ahmad Lim's offensive, Armenian fighters took part in the assault of the highest of Arara. Their attack helped break Turkish and German defensive lines. The victory escalated to a collapse of enemy positions in the region. Today, the battle is remembered as a symbol of Armenian courage, unity, and sacrifice. On July 6, 1944, a devastating fire broke out at the Ringling Bros, a Burnham and Belly Circus in Hartford, Agatangeghos. At least 167 people were killed and hundreds were injured. Among the victims were Alice Benjamin and her 2 young sons. Alice was born in Hartford to a family originating from Western Armenia. Their story became part of the broader history of Armenian families living in the diaspora and the genocide. It reflects both loss and resilience across generations. The tragedy remains a part of the collective memory of the Armenian community. Mkrtich Yotneghbayrian was a prominent figure of the Armenian national liberation movement. Born in Urfa, he dedicated his life to defending Armenian communities. In 1910, he organized a local self-defense force to prepare for future threats. During the autumn of 1950, he led the Armenian resistance of Urfa against Ottoman forces. Despite facing larger enemy numbers, he organized a determined defense. He was killed in battle, choosing resistance over capture. Yotneghbayrian remains one of the heroes of the Urfa self-defense. The Zeitun uprising of 1895 to 1896 was a response to the Hamidian massacres and Ottoman operation. Local defenders and Armenian volunteers united to protect the region. Among the notable participants was the brave fighter known as Topuz Sarkis. He became one of the symbols of the resistance movement. The defenders of Zeitun demonstrated remarkable endurance and military skill. Ottoman forces suffered heavy losses and were eventually forced to retreat. The uprising remains an important symbol of Armenian self-defense and the struggle for freedom.
So this was all for today's news. If you want something to learn, you can easily find Western Armenia's website and read every article there. Thank you for watching.